Of course, the polling for conservatives is terrifying because polling federally indicates that we had this massive lead for like 2 years and all of a sudden it just switches around. It was switching around when Trudeau when all the talk about him resigning, when he resigned, it was switching around already, which doesn't make any sense because everybody's still there. But the more that you look at this, if you start looking at the details, it's a discouragement campaign.
I've noticed too, I was reading one of the polls this morning, and when you go into the how they use the data, they were weighting the polls with weird stuff, like 69% of the people polled were 55 and up, kind of the boomers, right? And we know that the polling shows that the boomers are polling more towards the Liberals than any other demographic. So if you're going to use a poll that kind of not exclusively, but mostly uses those people, of course, it's going to go one way or the other. Now, look, for the most part, polling companies in Canada do a fairly decent job. If we believe the polls when the Conservatives were up, we can't totally misbelieve them when they're down. But there has been some strange stuff going on with the polls. So
there's a company, and I watched a couple of videos and I try to verify this myself, but I only have so much time. So just keep that, so with a grain of salt. There's an organization called Liaison Strategies. And This is a Liberal Party connected group, is my understanding, at least. And basically they've been getting some money from the government. They hadn't done any polling or almost never did polling in the last few years. And then when, I guess around the time that Mark Carney became leader, they started submitting polls every day or every second day. And the polls were heavily skewed towards Liberals. And maybe those are legitimate. But when you have a polling company submitting fresh numbers every day or every second day that get put into the aggregate, it starts making the polls look, you can really sway the way that these polls look.
Oh, yeah.
And the problem there is a phenomenon where people want to, bet on a winner. And it has to do with, personalities and psychology or whatever. But when the polls are really leaning someplace, people that really don't know the issues or whatever, they want to bet on a winner to feel like they're on the winning team, right? Yeah. Just like if you go to a visiting, you go to another city and you go watch their hockey game, you're probably going to cheer for their team, even though you normally don't cheer for their team because you're there, you want to be part of the winning team, right? So anyway, all that to say, don't get discouraged with the polls. Even myself, I can feel myself affected, which is proof positive, right? That this kind of tactic works. I was just like, oh man, I can't believe it. What happens if we lose this and that? Forget that. Okay. Right now, you should be using that as inspiration to go, I need to put even more work in. It's only for another 4 weeks. You only got 4 weeks of dedicating your life to making sure that we have a absolutely decisive Conservative Party majority win in this upcoming election. Do everything you possibly can. We're going to tell you exactly what to do. So don't worry about that, but don't get discouraged by this stuff. This is exactly what these people are up to, and this is what they want. They want you to think, oh, I knew it. We're going to lose anyway. Oh, it was too good to be true. All the rest of that, throw your hands up, be tired and depressed. Whenever you're down, you'll find that you feel more tired. When you're really enthusiastic, you feel like you have energy. So this is what they're trying to do to you. Don't let them do it.
And at the same time, I think 4 weeks, at the time of recording this, we have almost 4 weeks. That's an eternity in politics. If you look at just how the first week and a half of the campaign has gone, there's been, all kinds of controversy and scandals. And, it's just been very, very busy. So if you can imagine another 4 weeks of this, anything can happen. So you have to be a leader. You have to get your people motivated, take people to the polls. Like, this is your problem. So you have to help work on it. Absolutely. And that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
If you're not subscribed, please do that. The notification bell is great. Yeah, if you want to be notified when we do a new video, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But if you can subscribe, that would be awesome. I'd really like to see us get to 100,000 subscribers, which would be good. Okay, that's it. Thanks everyone. Take care, and we will see you soon.